Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list.
Get her done.
Alright, this is one of those listings where you start reading and immediately slow down, because halfway through you realize this isn't just a vehicle, it's a science project that escaped a garage. And I'm not just saying that because according to the seller, this Toyota truck was built in the early 90s by an astrophysicist, which honestly explains everything, from its wild body lines, the crazy flatbed, and of course the extra axle set up in the back. It's literally so modified, I don't think anyone would tell what it originally was, but it also seems to be done well enough that you could actually trust the new axle wasn't going to rip out from underneath you on the highway. Under the hood, it's got a built 350 small block Chevy paired to a fully built TH400, so you already know it sounds good coming out of the twin stacks. The NASA experiment was listed up for $5,500 and unfortunately has already sold. The Facebook redneck engineers really cooked with this one. I'm talking a 2001 Ford Excursion that's been stretched into a 36-foot limousine, then it's been lifted with some big mud tires, and to top it all off, a camper on the back. It's apparently got a queen bed, a toilet, a shower, and a fridge, but I think we can all imagine what it probably looks like, or more importantly, what it smells like. Under the hood powering this beast is the legendary 7.3 Power Stroke, because if you're going to build something this unhinged, you at least pick the one engine that refuses to die. And as unhinged as the outside is, there's unfortunately no pictures of the interior. They want $30,000, and let's be real, how often do you see a lifted limo that can go off-road while still being able to sleep on a queen bed in the back? You ever wanted to ride around in something that resembles a UPS truck that joined a militia and never looked back? Well, here it is. A 1974 Chevy step van has been slammed into the ground, coated in tactical texture black and stripped of anything resembling joy. No chrome, no shine, no smiles, just flat black panels. Inside is where this thing fully commits to the bit. The interior isn't just inspired by tactical gear, it's actively sharing space with it. Guns are mounted and scattered throughout like decorative accents, mixed in with the seating, screens, and speakers, as if this was staged by someone who thinks interior design and loadout are the same hobby. And I get it, most of the guns are probably fake, but either way, I wouldn't rate a car thief's chances very high of taking it without coming out looking like Swiss cheese. Special shout out to the pillows with the same design as your uncle's sick ass t-shirt on them. The next ridiculous thing is the price, because the seller is after a giant $40,000, and let's be real, there's no way it's worth even close to that. This is a 1991 Unos Roadster, which means it's a Miata, but spelled differently so the owner can justify correcting strangers and charging more money because the steering wheel's on the other side. It's got the classic 1.6 with a 5-speed, and according to the seller, the engine is 100% stock, aside from a full exhaust, which as you can see, is actively trying to reach God. Visually, it's peak Miata energy being low, wide, and aggressive in the way a caffeinated Chihuahua is aggressive. Just like 90% of Miatas, it's got an unpainted body kit that's probably been on the car for the last 5 years, and whatever the hell these metal plates on the hood are, if your 16-year-old cousin wasn't already drooling to make their first major financial mistake, well wouldn't you believe it's got butterfly doors to seal the deal. Then we get to the pricing. It's an insane $13,500 if you want everything. The seller is also very clear. If you don't like the price, he doesn't care. He doesn't need to sell it, which is the most Miata seller sentence ever written.
Give me a hell yeah!
This is a 2021 Ram TRX 6x6, which means someone looked at a 702 horsepower beast and decided 4 wheels was an undercommitment. The frame's been extended and it looks factory, so they could fit in a whole new axle underneath it. But craziest of all is that it's a true 6-wheel drive too, not just a floating axle like we've seen a few times. It's been wrapped in digital snow camo and comes with 37-inch Patagonia tires with a bed-mounted spare that probably weighs as much as a Civic. This is the exact truck a redneck builds 5 minutes after winning the lottery, before the lottery accountant has contacted them about investing their money. Inside it's surprisingly civil, with a leather TRX interior and a couple Apocalypse logos added. The seller's wanting $130,000, and although I think it's an awesome build, it's not worth that much as it's been sitting with no bites for the last 20 weeks. Here we've got a 1989 Caprice Classic that looks like it was painted by the Heinz marketing department, because who doesn't love a ketchup background with mustard colored flames and checkerboards? As you can see, it's got not only butterfly doors but also reverse doors too, because who doesn't love a bit of variety? The seller even blesses us with a video where the car gets more edits than a Fast and Furious trailer and has an interesting soundtrack to say the least. The interior is aggressive yellow and apparently cost them $7,700, and man, that dashboard is looking insane for that kind of money. They're after $8,000, so get in before the hot dog lovers do. It's been a while since we've seen a goofy Suzuki X90 up for sale, and this one is fittingly called the Green Bean. If you don't know these things, they have 2 seats, T-tops, and are shorter than most people's attention span, but for whatever reason, Suzuki made them 4-wheel drive. And I don't mean all-wheel drive, I'm talking about having a transfer case with low and high range gears, and basically a clown car. The camo paint job fits the car well, but I'm not so sure how well that bar work will hold up to even hitting an insect at 60 miles per hour. It was listed up for only $2,600, and as you'd expect has already sold.
Brother,
Nothing says trustworthy like a vehicle that's been upside down but still has a clean title. From the outside, this Expedition looks like someone spent years slowly losing arguments at AutoZone. There are random badges everywhere, trims, logos, vents, and random chrome accents. None of them matching and none of them necessary. We only get 2 interior photos and somehow they make everything worse. There's an absurd amount of weird looking faux wood that's been covered in an insane amount of rhinestones, which is probably missing a few stuck in the driver's head after whatever crash happened. For the $1,400 asking price, I'm tempted to bring some scientists along to buy it, just so they can study the seller and see if they need to be put in a mental hospital. Every once in a while, Facebook Marketplace reminds you that Scion owners are built different, not better, just different. This is a 2005 Scion XB, a car that 99% of them are owned by grandmas on their way to bingo, but that last 1% is where the real weirdos come out. We've got to start with the butterfly doors and call me crazy, but it weirdly works on this goofy square on wheels. The exterior is sprayed in this burnt orange metallic, which as much as I want to roast it, it also looks weirdly good. Then there's the body kit, which sits so low, it's already lost its will to live, and I just know this guy turns around when he sees a speed bump. It runs, drives, has stupid low miles, and they want $5,000 for it, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but it's really not a bad price. The Ford Fusion S, you know, the base model, rental spec car, made for traffic and being hard to spot in a Target parking lot. Well, somewhere along the line, I think the owner bonked his head and started thinking the S stands for sport, then installed every mod known to mankind, except the ones that actually make it fast. It's got all your classics like hood vents and hood pins, but no engine bay pictures possibly to hide that it's got the 1.5 litre turbo. The seller says it has all the aerodynamic mods from the front to the back, and he's not joking, it got the full Timu setup. I mean, check out the rear louvers and giant wing. I can't lie though, it does sound pretty decent. And then there's the title situation that apparently exists somewhere, but that it was mailed to the wrong address, chased for over a year, and eventually they just gave up. They're after $7,500, which wouldn't be too bad if the title wasn't in limbo, even if it's been riced to hell. You might think it's your sleep paralysis demon on this 1973 Lincoln Continental. Up front and center is Uncle Fester, bald head glowing like he's about to power the headlights himself. Hell, you probably don't even need headlights after the reflections his bald dome will be making. The rest of the car seems fairly normal, except for whatever appears to be going on with the roof. Inside has a lot more color than what I expected, with wall-to-wall pink velour, and you already know it smells of cigarettes and Aquanet. They're wanting $4,000, and I'll be real, I don't have a clue what it would be worth, but seeing as it's been up for 6 weeks and still not sold, it must be priced a bit high. It wouldn't be a proper Garage Gold episode without a Hyundai Tiburon. This is a 2001 model, which means it came from the factory already fighting for its life in the hot import nights parking lot. Front and center is that fiberglass hood, which looks less like carbon fiber and more like someone skinned a school chalkboard and zip tied it on. Under that, the body kit front bumper has apparently kissed a few too many poles or trolleys in car parks and seems to be barely hanging on. The rest of the kit struggling too with some more cracking and everyone's favorite duct tape holding the rear bumper on, but at least it's got some sick ass butterfly doors to go with it. To be fair though, it's a 5-speed manual with only 80,000 miles and even a clean title. They have it listed up for $2,500, and I'll be honest, I'm really surprised it hasn't sold for that. This is a 2005 Ford Crown Vic Police Interceptor, which means it's lived a hard life, seen things it legally can't talk about, and now it's been pulled back out of retirement and been rebranded as the Thought Patrol, complete with National Thottish Prevention Patrol logos slapped down the sides like it's a federally funded task force, so you'd better hide your girlfriend when this thing cruises past. To be fair though, it is currently needing some repairs after it apparently ejected a whole spark plug, but once it's back running, you can make full use of the upgraded LSD diff and beefed up transmission to chase down any thoughts on parade. Inside, it's still got all the cop cosplay essentials, radios, switches, mystery wiring, and yes, even comes with a pair of fuzzy handcuffs. They had it listed up for only $1,000, and as you'd expect for that price, it sold quick, even with the engine issues. Next up is a 2014 Hudson Stringer, and no, it's not a kit car or a slingshot knockoff, even though it looks like one. It's a reverse trike powered by a Suzuki Hayabusa drivetrain, which immediately explains why the video sounds absolutely unhinged. Only 25 were made, which is either a flex or a warning that they stopped producing these things quick. They're asking $5,500, which is either an absolute steal for a rare Hayabusa powered oddball or the cheapest way to scare yourself legally on public roads. Just like an aging rock star, this Excursion was once at the top of the world and now it's surviving purely on nostalgia and liver damage. The paint job is doing a lot of emotional heavy lifting. We've got bald eagles, wolves, stars, stripes, galaxies, basically every image that has ever been printed on the side of a gas station knife collection. The airbrush work itself isn't even bad. Imagine pulling up to the sketchy carnival back when this thing wasn't being invaded by rust, because although the paint job screams freedom, the wheel arches are quietly dissolving back into the earth. The good old 7.3 is still kicking, and even the interior looks halfway decent, which is probably why it unfortunately already sold for the $6,000 asking price, even with this odd but well done paint job. This next vehicle is a 2003 Chevy Impala, and somehow they forgot to include proper photos of the main event. That absolutely unhinged hood paint job, you know, the one thing that separates this from being a normal invisible commuter car into a rolling reminder that money can't buy taste, but it can buy spray paint from Walmart. The rest of the car is mostly normal, and shout out to the $ floor mat that's been putting in work. They're asking $3,000 for a perfectly normal Impala, except for the part that makes it unemployable. Every Dodge Neon starts life with the same goal: get to work, rattle itself apart, and eventually die in a cloud of electrical issues. Most of them achieve that mission with impressive consistency, but then, once in a blue moon, you find one that someone spent probably more than they should have on it. First off, the paint looks pretty good in pictures, but the seller does say it's peeling and needs new clear coat. But then you open the hood and realize this isn't your average SRT4. This thing has over $40,000 in parts, with a fully built motor with forged everything, and of course a massive turbo rated for numbers that belong on YouTube thumbnails. It apparently makes 580 wheel horsepower on pump gas. The interior, as you can see, is also super clean as a bonus. Sure, it still looks like a Dodge Neon, but mechanically this thing is an absolute menace. They are after $24,000, which is well above how much they usually go for, but this one comes with enough boost to make you forget what a sensible purchase looks like. This seller has not one, but two Lamborghini Diablo kit cars for sale, because apparently if you're going to make one questionable life decision, you might as well commit to it twice. From a distance, they whisper Italian supercar. Up close, they scream mid-engine GM parts bin with delusions of grandeur. And just like 90% of the kit cars we see, these ones also have the unfinished art project behind a body shop aesthetic. The seller also has a V12 for sale, which would be awesome, but I'm more likely to win the lottery than for someone to actually try put that into one of these cars. Now for the price, the seller says he set it high to scare away tire kickers, which started at $20,000 per each car, but unsurprisingly has dropped it to $15,000 and is probably in the phase of realizing he's wasted far too much money on some fake Lamborghinis. Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything to change around. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.